Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Superman issue 362. Now, as you know, the first volume of Superman was meant to focus on the Silver Age version of Superman, which the cover has Superman looking on a picture hologram of Lois Lane and Lana, and let's get on the story. It starts off how Superman flies down to a museum and says, "The camera crew have arrived at the Metropolis Museum to set up the equipment for tonight's taping." And so pretty much heads down. Well, Lana Lang and Lois talking about a kind of special vase Lana found in Venice in an underground area. So Superman shows up as Clark Kent, and pretty much they guess that he couldn't get a car in that and make up joking excuses. And even Lois knows that Clark's hair is meant to be messy. And of course, Superman kind of points out that he was a bit of an idiot, as he forgot about the Superman curl. And of course, Lana Lang picks up a vial, which ends up with one of the cameras blowing out, and she drops it, which of course ends up with them having some strange symptoms. And Superman inspects it and notices the bacteria in that are going to get out of the building. Just as Lana's father's talking with the museum curator, he quickly destroys the virus firsthand, and Lana's father's not pleased with what happened to the special thing. He says, "Young lady, do you realize this viral was the only one of its kind of existence? What a tragic loss." And so Lois Lane and the museum curator leave while talking about Lana's father being angry. And of course Clark starts to feel some symptoms and has figured out what's really going on, and says, "Not again. Not to Lois and Lana this time." And so he points out about the same thing that happened with Jonathan and Martha Kent, how they found a piece of a diary in that, and for some reason found a treasure chest, which I have no idea how. So of course they go back in time to find one of the pirates being marooned and such, and after returning after witnessing it, Jonathan and Martha Kent experience the symptoms, even having doctors to kind of help. Turns out it doesn't affect kids, but it's an old disease, much like the Black Death and Bionic Plague. So, of course, Clark, as Superboy, tries everything to get them back to life, but fails in no hope and blames himself, even though he's never really realized how dangerous it was. And even found the piece of the diary in that, and even pretty much points out that Jonathan and Martha Kent was always there for them, and doesn't want to see the same thing happen to Lana and Lois. And of course says, "I can't let it happen again." And so he flies off in a sonic boom state, and realizes the consequences, which ends up causing a large avalanche. And of course, Superman uses his heat vision to save the train, and even knows that they wouldn't be too pleased if they knew the truth. After stopping a hijacker from basically stealing money in that, Superman manages to stop him and drops him off back on the plane. So of course, Superman inspects the disease and that, and goes on his computer to do some work. And after checking planets that could help, knows that full well if he did do a big planet hopping, it would pretty much be too late. And even checks on Lois, Lana, and all that, sees they're still okay in that, but is worried how long and little time they have. So of course Superman is in another side of his fortress, which he's still upset about losing Lana and Lois, which ends up with him sobbing, saying, "Not again." And yeah, this is the story. I would say the issue is actually alright. I get it, the point of killing off Jonathan and Martha Kent was meant to be a story, but I feel like they didn't really need to kill them off. Again, it seemed a bit like a kind of plot device they just used. But I get it, it was necessary, and we do kind of see Superman not wanting to make the same mistakes again, even though what happened to Jonathan and Martha Kent was never his fault. So I think the issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.